Endowment CEO, my name is Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. I have got John Dennis. He is the CEO of REO Capital, headquartered in Beverly Hills, on the show with me today. John, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Now, John, I wanted to get into some of the questions that I had for you right now. But before we do so, give our audience some background on what REO Capital does for people in the industry.
Okay, thank you. Yes, we are a global capital raising firm or investment agent. We represent various funds and private equity funds and assisting them raising capital for various funds and investments within the fund.
Good, thank you. All right, now let's talk about that a little bit. Venture capital companies they're already on pace to experience another record-breaking year in 2018 and 2019. Give me your take on the mechanics, the drivers on what is creating this phenomenon.
I think quite simply the economy is doing well. Some of the companies within these funds are doing extremely well, paying very attractive returns, and subsequently attracting investors to these particular funds.
You have created an environment where you've got record fundraising of over $8 billion in first quarter of 2018. And again, the same type of question: what is the driver behind moving that kind of money with your type of an organization?
I think that there's dry powder on the sidelines waiting to step in and really invest in various funds such as early stage venture capital. And subsequently, I think that the timing is just right, and right now I think is very attractive returns. Some of these are in excess of 40%, some are in excess of 120%. So with those kind of returns, I think it's really stimulating the marketplace.
Now, I just happen to have the good fortune to speak with some tax experts, people who are enrolled agents, and they explain what we're looking at with the current administration, what they've done with the taxes or the tax rulings going forward. And from what I understand, that's going to create a tremendous boom for the economy. Do you see that as creating an even bigger year next year for private equity with companies like yourself?
Yeah, I do. I think that there's a lot of money that is coming back to the U.S. Prime example is Apple bringing back over $9 billion invest in the United States. So I think that those investments are going to continue throughout 2018 and 2020. And subsequently, I think that the private equity and venture capital are going to continue to do very, very well.
All right. Now, let me drive into this. The U.S. VC market for funds below $1 billion size. Tell me how you see that expanding, where you see the pockets of opportunity in industry sectors that your company are really looking at for the hidden value that most people aren't aware of yet.
I think most people are looking at late stage and they're not really looking at seed or early stage. Obviously, they deal more risk in seed and early stage VC. However, that's where the higher alpha is.
What industry sectors are you driving into these days?
Well, obviously tech and healthcare are the two primary driving sectors within venture capital.
Now, when you say tech, that's a pretty broad spectrum. Are you talking about tech like biotech? Are we talking about tech fintech? Are we talking about cryptocurrency, blockchain. Give me an idea of the subsets that are seem to be coming to the surface and getting your attention these days.
I'm seeing a lot of blockchain tech, but I think that some of these companies are also in just the broader sense of technology companies that are developing within the early stage VC market.
All right. Is your focus mainly on companies in the United States that have a geographic region that they're growing to, or are there companies that have more international scalability to them? Where is that pocket for you?
Plus, in the US, I've looked at international. Some international healthcare is attractive because let's face it, our healthcare system is primarily run by the FDA. So there's more biotech and healthcare developments in Europe than there are in the United States.
Okay, so you're finding that with the new tax rules and with the repatriation of the money, you'd mentioned that earlier, do you see that we're going to see a lot of foreign countries, whether it's Latin America or it's Europe or it's Asia, seeking a beachhead, if you will, in and utilizing venture capital here for expansion into our market? How do you see that playing out?
That's a good question. I do see more and more European venture capitalists looking towards the United States for funding. Let's face it, our markets are predominant in terms of the amount of investments that are going to turn to the United States for those investors.
Okay. How are you positioning your company going forward? Let's open that up in the last couple of minutes we have here.
Thank you. I'm positioning my company. I'm doing more hiring. I'm bringing on more staff because I see there's both in that capital. There's both private equity. So I guess I'm rolling the dice and gambling that is going to pay off with REO Capital.
Got it. All right, John, thanks for being a guest on our show. I can't wait to talk to you again. Who knows where are you heading off to next?
I'm going to San Francisco. I've got 4 meetings with 4 different VC funds.
Good. Maybe you can give us a bird's eye view from what's going on at Ground Zero in San Francisco when you land. How about that?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, you've been watching CEO with Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. Don't forget, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.